Hi guys, how you doing? Back at my bench on the Hurricane, the Hawker Hurricane Mark 1 Tropical. I thought I'd try out a new setting to do live on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. So if I'm answering comments and they're not on the YouTube comments or vice versa, you know why. Some guys I know are only on Facebook and not on YouTube, so I thought I'd try and see if I could broadcast on both at the same time. And at the moment everything seems to be working all right. If there's a settings problem and it all starts going belly up, I will have to cut the Facebook feed, but at the moment everything's green and everything's good, so double bubble good. So we'll crack on again and carry on with this. As I say, so hi fellas in YouTube and hello guys in Facebook. How you doing, Wolf? Alright, Chris. Yes, I gathered you on Facebook, pal. I can see that. But it was because you couldn't comment on the YouTube. I thought I'll try and stream on both so I can get your comments. Because I know you watch on your big telly normally and you can't see and comment. And there's a few other guys at the club I run. So I thought split screen, double bubble, YouTube and Facebook at the same time. How you doing, Moose? Good stuff. Evening, Kevin. How's things? I'm well, thanks, mate. Yep, all good. So, it seems to have worked. We're streaming on both, cool. So, all good. So, we're going to go over to the little camera and move that mouse out of the way. How you doing, Simon? Good to see you, pal. How you doing, Mike? All good, mate. Like I say, streaming on both, so it should be fun. It's Trevor, I know. So where are we at? Well, that's where we was at last time. We've got our metal finish, we've got our interior seat and all that carry on done. We got our metal bit there done. And I cut out the hole. Show the guns. So first off, what I'm gonna do, I'll glue this on here. And then we can crack on and cut out that other wing. So just get that into position. This is going to be a bit of a fiddly monster. So what do I do about YouTube? Well, you saw my comments the other day about the hassle yesterday, and I got up this morning and they'd done it again. Fair play, YouTube were quick on it and sorted it out. But I told them, whoever it is, if it is a person, it might be an algorithm, but if it's a person, to do something about it. So who knows, tomorrow I'll probably end up having to send them another email. But the good thing is I'm here, which is the main thing. It's quite good that I managed to get the two feeds running and green signal, so all good. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, that needs to be held into place, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to sit that bottle on the top for a minute. It's not really heavy enough, I need a full bottle, not much left in that one. There. Now I'm just going to let that settle a minute and get this cut out, as you do. Yes, Moose. Yeah, I doubt it too. I've done a little tester. I've been a bit fly where I share the link to see what happens. Because I have a little inkling of who it may be. So we shall see. Yeah, yeah, I thought that as well after what you said. So after what you said, I've not put the link in certain places and I've put the link in certain other places, and we shall see what happens. So I'm just going to nip this out. It's nothing exciting, it's just this cutting out this again, I'm afraid. Sadly, there's jealousy in the world, and keyboard warriors, but we'll get sorted. Just concentrating at the minute because I don't want to slip and take my fingers clean off. Just while I get this bit there done. Evening, Dave. How are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So how's everyone been doing over the last few days? All right, I hope. Doing well. It's been kind of crazy for me. I've been in trustee meetings and all sorts of lark. All good fun, mate. I'm just scoring this for a minute before I put too much pressure on. Just get this panel cut out. It's quite thick plastic, so it's going to take a few cuts. Right, I'm going to have to lean forward now and push a bit harder. I got an extra little plug-in on my OBS software. It was a plug-in a guy was done, and it allows me to stream on two at the same time, which was quite handy. Making sure I stop just there because I don't want to go right through, score the plastic. See how that goes. A bit more in that corner there. It snowed, Moose. Oh my word. We're due it Thursday. We're due snow. It'd be perfect if you could allow chats to communicate too. Yeah, that would be great, wouldn't it? But as you know, I mean, I have said I'm not technically minded at all, so I'll have to look and find out. There is a way of getting the chat up like next to my screen on a side on the actual browser, you know, on the actual live feed, but I'll have to look into that. One step at a time, eh? I've not long had a PC in here, so this is all big learning curves for me. There we go, we got that out. There you go. And I'll clean that up a little in a minute. Give that a sand. Just going to check on this little baby here, because it has to get bent into shape while it goes in, so you'll want that one. Yeah, it says something about, I did read somewhere, I can read. I did read somewhere that I can have the chat up actually on the video, which would be quite cool. But like I say, I'll have to look into that, because it's all still new to me, all this malarkey. I'm chuffed that I managed to get the Facebook and the YouTube at the same time, so small steps. Fiddly bit on this is trying to get this to sit where I want it to sit, which is always a bit. How you doing, Andy? Good to see you. Yeah, Moose. No, it's all good. We get there, you know. The joys of YouTube. That's what I have found. I use a free, mine's a free software, OBS it's called, and it's free. It's a great tool once you figure out how to use it, that is. Takes a little while, but I'm sure there's an easier way of using it than what I'm doing. I've got loads of malarkey going on it. I'm sure you can combine it all and click a button so it does all the intro and everything at once, but I just click each one by hand at the moment. It works, so I'm actually just using the Alclad standing sticks. No worries, Moose, you be careful. I'm good, thanks, Andy, not bad, you know. Pleased that I managed to get my YouTube sorted and a few bits and bobs. How you doing, Justin? Justin's over on Facebook. I've got two of them chatting away, you know. So it'll be late over there because he's in the US. Hope you keep them well, Justin. I will try and figure out how to incorporate the two chats if it's possible, because it's always good to make friends, especially in this hobby. We're all a bunch of glue sniffers, basically. Plastic addicts, or whatever you want to call us. Oh, right, yeah. I've seen that, Andy, about using your phone, but I couldn't quite figure it out. Just as well, really. I've already got 3 cameras. There. That's nice and clean. There you go. Nice clean hole there. Ready to put the guns on. In. Let's see who's chatting away there. Checking the chat there. That's all good. So, guns. That's where we're at. So we'll be doing a bit of the guns. See them there? They've got all that bit there to do. And then there's a bit underneath. And we'll get that done. Humble 85, that'll be gunmetal. I know that anyway. We have a nice purple gunmetal here somewhere in Alclad. Wherever it's gone. Exhaust, gold, titanium, Where are you? Armored glass, black chrome. Ah, gunmetal. There you go. ALC 120 gunmetal. It's a nice purpley black, metallic-y. Yes, Andy, though. The cannons. And I'll have them all showing, because once that goes on there, roughly like that, roughly like that, and you'll see we'll see them. We'll have them on show. Just because we can. So, it's through D. That's a B. There's D, as always. A D on there. They're little. Wow. You know, when you're used to doing this in 124, and then you got this little gun there like that, it's a bit, ooh, okay. It's a little small, to say the least. 124, they're nice, good size ones. D37. Now I've got to keep these in number order, or they won't go in right. So, start off with that one there. D37 and 35. Next to it, 32. Why can't they just put things in order? Why they got to go diggity zaggity with your parts? That one, and then 30. Now obviously these need to be kept in number order, so I have a method for that. I'll get my little clamp there, pin it right on the end of that, so I can touch that with a paintbrush. Get my magic tape out again. That's 37. Now, so I don't get muddled up, that's number 37. Keeps your guns in order. Once they go on the rack and they're to dry, you can kind of forget quite easily if you're like me. Yeah, the damn it button. D for damn it. I have to mark my sprues like that because my eyesight is awful, and if I don't, I forget which one's which, and then it takes me forever to find a part. I know it's a pain doing this bit, but it's got to be done this way to keep things right. One more clamp. Evening, Edward. How you doing? Edward's over on Twitter there chatting away. So there we go. We've got our 4 guns there ready to go. And what I'm going to do, I know there's other parts, but I'm going to do the other side as well. Do all the gun metal at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Should have another clamp somewhere. Jesus. I thought I'd have another clamp around here somewhere. Nope. Right. No clamp, so we'll use a pair of tweezers with a permanent clamp on it, you know. And go through it all again. Good fun. So start off 31. We've got our tree up, which is a good thing. Keeps the missus happy. 33. That one. 34. Always paranoid about them pinging as well. And the last one. There we go. Ping them out of the way. 31. Of course, everyone got on their bench at the minute. In anything different from the other day? Oh, of course, Sandy. Got to keep the missus happy. If you don't keep the missus happy, then what do? You just end up in trouble all the time. And after moving that shed, I had to really do it to keep her happy. Happiness is, like you say, is a happy household. So 34. Some carry on this, but it's worth doing it this way. There's no rush in model building. Take your time. It's all good. Last one. 36. This one doesn't ping. The clamp's not as good on this one. Now, you won't see it very well there, but that's Chris is still doing the Brewster Buffalo. Good stuff. All good. How you doing, Graham? Good to see you. No, mate. Andy, no, it's Airfix. It's a 2015 new tool, and it was re-released into this box in 2016, and it was just a few different parts. The filter underneath, because it's tropical rather than the navy, so it's just a filter underneath, and I think a few decals. That's the only difference. So it's a nice new tool, not a Rebel. If it was a Rebel, I'd be fighting with flash and excess plastic and just all sorts of carry on. So we'll get all these popped onto the sheet. Rattle and pinging. Go. Super job. So I'm going to use my Tamiya stand. The great stands. You got all the holes in there, all the way around. So these all stick in there, no worries. They just sit in like that. One thing I have noticed with them, are really cool. See if you got a part on a cocktail stick and you got this little slot here for little clamps. These little clamps here. You get them little clamps there and they sit in there. But I like to use them. You can get cocktail stick in there nicely. So you can get quite a few parts sitting on your stand there when you're done. So I tend to just keep it like that and pop them on as I go along. Running out of space here. I need a bigger bench. Right. No worries, Graham. You know, there's always watching it later on and all that carry on, so all good. Right, so what about I can't see that. I'm at around I'm at about 5 psi, so it's just a little blast. I'm just going to put a little bit in for a minute. Should have tested that really. All good. So just gonna little sprays. So you've not got too much overspray there. Now I don't know how well you'll see that. Probably won't see that very well. Maybe on this one. Can't really see it too well, but I'll get a nice photo of it. It's like a purpley black. It's a dark black, but it's got like a hint of purple to it, and it just sits in that stand. Look at that. Sits in that stand nicely. That. It's like it is gunmetal, so it's a black, but it's a mad colour. It's got a hint of purple in it. Splattering again. Splattering again. That's been from the other day, yeah. I'll just sort this out quick. Should have checked this really before I started. But the good thing is, you know, people get to see that we all have these things happen, and I'm all for that. Just getting out that little lump of dry paint from the other day. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, not splattering now. I do like the gunmetal. It's a nice colour. See if you can see it better with that off. Wait for the camera to adjust. There you go. See that? Like a metallic metal, blacky purple tinge to it. All good. How you doing, Colin? Good to see you. Who else we got? Evening, Ron. All right, no worries, Ron. Cheers, pal. The guys at the club will be grateful for that. Thanks very much. Like I said the other day, I completely forgot you offered, to be honest. But that's much appreciated, mate. The guys will enjoy that. Aha, Moose is back. How you doing, Ross? I tell you something, and I know Fester says it all the time, Ross, but how on earth you do them Warhammer figures? It's just mind-blowing. We've got a guy in our club that does them, and he's really good, but how you guys manage that, it's just something else. Oh, we're getting them done. It shouldn't take too long to dry. So what are you working on, Ron, at the minute? I know I should look on your group really and see It's just been hectic. Trustee meetings, club meetings, Christmas extravaganza on Zoom. I've been zoomed out this week. Just zoom for all sorts of stuff. And there we go. That's me guns done anyway. All good stuff. I'll put that in there. And I've still got loads of paint in there and I only done a quarter cup. Oh yeah, we've got my little fella too. I've got to do a bit on him, haven't I? That's right. And we've got some more alley work to do here by the looks of it too, so let's turn that up now. Give her a little clean. Going to show you on this cloth here, because sure I was saying it's like a black purple black, whatever way you want to see it. When it's thinned, you can see it is a black, you know, like there, which is what the gun come out, but it's got like a purple hue to it, as you can see there. So they come out really cool. So Ron's doing HMS Belfast diorama, a German flat gun, and an 8-ton truck. I love your dioramas. They're really cool, to be honest. I've done a couple, but that's about it. So that's that glued on anyway. That's nice and solid on there. So we're good on that. All good in the hood. But we'll put a wash in there and all that once I get all these guns and stuff in. One disappointing bit. I know you're not gonna see. You're only gonna see through the hole I cut where I chopped that out. I know you're only gonna see there, but it would have been nice if the guns went right through. But yeah, is what it is. They are what they are, as they say. So I'm just gonna cocktail stick. I'm just gonna force this bit down a little bit before we get onto the old pilot. I want that to sit in a specific place, and it's just not wanting to sit there at the minute. If I don't get it to sit in that position, it won't work when I go to put the top parts on. So it's important I get them bits sitting right. Oh, come on. Like that. Just hold that a second. 25% off, Moose. That's good. All good. If any of you guys on the Facebook that's watching, if you can actually make it over to YouTube, there's great conversation that goes on over there as well. So I'm happy with that bit there, I think. Yeah. Right. I'll leave that there for a minute. And we've got our little chappie that's sure I kept pulling his arm off. Well, breaking his arm off. And there's a guy there. Now his blue's a little bit too bright, so I'll give that a little wash. But to start with, we need to paint his little face. Now I am awful at moose, yeah, song got copyright. Trying to think. I have got somewhere some little plastic pots. There they are. What I should really do is send them over to Ross and let Ross work his magic on him, and then send me it back. That's really what I should do. I do see your dioramas, Rotten, but it's normally on my phone just flicking through in an evening when I'm winding down, and I'm not very good on my phone when it comes to Facebook and all that. I'm kind of pretty rubbish at it. I'm only still trying to get used to having a phone that's got a swipe on it and all that carry on. So, unlike Ross, that probably doesn't even need a magnifying glass because he's just crazy cool, I'm gonna attempt to slap on some paint for this poor fella. Now I'm shaking like a leaf, and certainly not gonna win any competitions with this one. Do you know what? When he's sitting in there, you're not even going to see the little fella anyway, really. And if you do, you're too close to my model. Yeah. Now, I've put some gloves on him, I think, so I'll leave his glove bit. So we've got a little fleshy colour on the face there. Oh, I'd say you hard. How you doing? I just noticed it because you were on Facebook and now you're over here. Good man. No, that is too technical for me, all that. I'm just going to pour some of this in my little tray over here. That warm in here. Everything dries quick. Right, so that's his little face done. It's not going to win no awards, but he's got a little face on there. Unfortunately, the camera's not great, I'm afraid, but I am working on it. There is a couple of new cameras coming soon, the charity men's shed that I run, they've decided that when I run the model club after COVID, when it's all over, that because I've got a PC in the model room and a big screen to teach the guys in the model club, so they're not over my shoulder. And the trustees of the charity that I'm the manager at, I'm a volunteer manager, they've decided that I should get 2 nice new cameras, and they're really nice. They zoom in and out, facial tracking and all that. They're really high spec, nice ones. So I'll be using them sort of middle of December time until COVID's over, and then I have them in the men's shed. But I'm hoping when I run the model club on a Wednesday night, where normally I do my Models for Heroes session online at the moment, when we do get to meet again and go back to normal life kind of way, I'm hoping to stream the model club as well when the time comes. So all good fun, as they say. And we need to find out what colour his hat is and head. So we've got 62, and then we've got goggles. Humble 62 is, without eating the paintbrush, Humble 62 is a brown, I think. A leather brown, yeah, right. Cool. So, I've got something that colour. 2 seconds. Right here still. Got a few little pinlets here. No. Right. No worries. Look. Right, so I keep the little pots for detailing. See, I just keep them for the silly little things. $29. That looks dark enough. Yep, that'll do. Evening, Richard. No worries, pal. All good fun. Oh, mate. So I'm going to just repeat myself for the YouTubers, you know. I'm streaming on both, Richard. I'm on YouTube and Facebook at the same time, pal. So if I'm talking to somebody and they're not in that chat, they're in the other chat. Right, so I'm going to just use this brown. I'm going to darken it anyway with a black wash in a minute anyway. So, all good fun. Do you know how many times I've smacked my nose on that glass, on the lens on this? Now this is hat done, so I'm just going to do his gloves now. So if you've never painted through one of these, it takes a little while to get used to, but once you get the hang of it, perception kicks in alright. It does feel strange to start with. There'll be figure painters watching me going, what's he doing? My answer is, it doesn't matter. You're not going to see him. So, I'm not sure what colour his goggles are supposed to be. No worries, Chris. Cheers for popping by, pal. You take care. I'll speak to you later anyway, buddy. Alright, I'll give it a try, Ross, at some point. Yeah. There's a lot of flesh tone paints and all that lot, and you know, to be fair, like when you're doing a bit bigger figures, I think, yeah, I would need to. But you see when he's sitting in there and everything's closed up, you're not going to see him. But you know, yeah, I would like to get better at doing the figures, to be honest. There's plenty of YouTube videos, so when I get time, maybe over the Christmas holidays, if I get time, I'll have a look and have a little shot at it, see how I get on. I'd like to do like the bust, you know, and do all the flesh tones and all that kind of carry on. I'd like a nice military figure, kind of a good size one, you know, and then sit him on a plinth of wood, you know, that kind of thing. I've seen some great ones by, is it Mitch's Miniatures, I think it is. I can't remember exactly. I saw him at a show and there were like loads of a World War One soldier like on his rifle, and that was really cool. I'd love to do something like that and figure out this figure malarkey. Yeah, no worries, I'll give it a try anyway. Yeah, what I normally do is I just give it a black wash, and he has like a grubbiness like of a beard. um, it is what it is, isn't it? You know. But yeah, I want to get better at figures for sure. I have loads of little pots trying to work out how to use them. Yeah, Edward. Yeah, I mean, I just use them for interior detail. Um, no, like when you got your instrument panels and you got to do your little red dots and your little brown dots and green dots and all that carry on. Just all your silly little detailing, really. I just use them for that. They come in handy. I have sprayed a 124 Hurricane nose cone on the prop in the Humbrol red in them little pots through an airbrush, and people say you can't. Well, you can, because I've got a picture of it and it's come out awesome. The secret is with the little pots is your blue concentrated screen wash you get for your car. Got to be the concentrating one, and don't water it down, and it's great for thinning acrylics and cleaning brushes. And I used it, I think it was like a 50-50 mix in the little pots with that, and I sprayed it through an airbrush, no problem. So they do spray. That was before I was with Alclad and before I was with other paints and stuff like that, when I was first starting out, and they worked. So definitely, you know, don't throw them away. They're definitely handy for detailing for sure. Waffling on now, and I need to get these little fellas done. Yeah, my gun's all done anyway. My guns all look good. I'll get a photo of them later. Oh, that's it, Ron. Yeah, 1/9. Cheers, pal. They're the ones. I've got all my guns there nicely laid out, all numbered, dry, ready to go on, what's today, Tuesday. They're all ready to fit on Thursday on my live. We've got my little pilot here, chappy. I need to do his harness now. There's two ways I do the harnesses, and I really want to show you the harness. So I will look for the right paint and I'll paint the harness, but I want to show you what I do for the pilot. See that? Pot noodle lid, textured foil, right? And what I do, I've got pictures of where I've done this. When you got your pilot sitting in the seat there and the harness goes with what's on the kit, when you sit in a car and you're sitting in your car, you've got the seatbelt coming over and you've got that little gap, yeah, between you where the seatbelt is. You know, obviously it goes up on them, but on a Spitfire and a Hurricane, you know, it goes behind you. So when you're looking, you've got a gap. And when you put the pilot in, if you paint his harness and then sit him in, you've got nothing there going from his shoulder to the seat. So what I tend to do is I paint the harness and then I cut this into a very thin strip, the thickness of the harness on the little chappy, and then I paint this and I fold it where the buckle goes on the pilot, wherever his buckle meets, and then I bring it up and over his shoulder and then into the seat. And then once it's dry, it looks like he's got his harness on and it's gone past him into the seat. So you've got that little gap, if that makes sense. So I always do that, even on this scale. So we'll do that at some point too when it comes to fitting a little chappy, and it'll all be good. Yeah, so the blue screen wash, mate, the car concentrate one. I've not got the big bottle here, I don't think. No, I've not got the big bottle. I've normally got the big drum of it, and I can show you, but it's just, you get it from Poundland. You know, you get it for peanuts, and it's great for thinning acrylics, true acrylics. Yeah, not Tamiya acrylic, because obviously Tamiya acrylic's not a true acrylic, so it might not work. But for your little humble acrylics and your Revel acrylics and that, blue screen wash, and it's great stuff for, even for thinning. Say you want to create like a little wash, put a little bit of the black paint off out of your pot on your little palette thing, a little drop of screen wash in there and make it like a dirty black water. Ignore the blue because it doesn't affect the colours, and it gives you a nice watered down wash. So it's great stuff, and the screen wash holds the pigment of the paint better than water, so all good. Right, that's enough of me ranting. It's now 8 o'clock, which is my time up. So I'm just going to jump to camera 1 and get ready to press that one. Right, thanks very much for popping by, listening to me ranting on, but people find it helpful, they find it helpful, it's all good, isn't it? You know me, I'm just here chilling at my bench doing a little bit. So we've got our holes cut anyway in our wings, we've got our guns ready to go on Thursday. We'll start fitting the guns. We've got some ammo box bits and all that to do as well on Thursday. I'll carry on with a little pilot there as well, and we'll just keep going. Thanks for popping by, everyone. Really do enjoy the chit chat and everything else. I'm really pleased that I managed to do Facebook and YouTube at the same time. there might be a way of getting both chats up. I don't know. I'll have to look into that at some point. I'm kind of over my head in technology already, trying to figure everything out. So at the moment it's working fine, so that's all good. Cheers, Ross. Thanks very much, pal. So everybody, please keep safe. I'll see a lot of you that are on YouTube tomorrow on Festa's Workshop live. So I'll see most of you there. And everybody on social media, you know how to contact me. So keep safe, look after yourselves. If you need a hand or anything, give me a shout. And I shall see you all Thursday at 7 PM. Take care.